Did you know that after the age of 60, lacking just one group of essential vitamins can reduce a man's ability to absorb oxygen and produce vitality-supporting hormones by up to 50%, according to data from the National Institute on Aging? This doesn't just lead to long-lasting fatigue in many older men. It also contributes to weaker urinary function, disrupted sleep, and declining vitality, even in those who maintain a healthy diet and regular exercise. Are you experiencing this yourself? Your body still wants connection, but it no longer responds. Your eyes still carry care, but your energy seems to have fallen asleep. If that feels familiar, know this: it is not the end of your vitality. It is simply a quiet whisper from within saying, "I am missing something." In this article, we will explore 3 essential vitamins that thousands of American men over the age of 60 are using to rebuild energy, support aging hormones, and restore their natural confidence. These insights are based on clinical research from Harvard Medical School and shared through the perspective of Dr. Abraham Morgentaler, a leading expert in male endocrinology in the United States. I believe that by the time you finish this article, you will realize that your body has never truly given up. It has only been waiting for you to understand it and begin to nourish it again from the inside out. Please feel free to share your age and country in the comments. Your story may be the story of many others too. 1. Vitamin D. Paul, age 67, used to be an active man who enjoyed sports and lived a balanced lifestyle, but in recent years, he began to feel that his body no longer responded the way it once did, although he still loved his wife just as much as on the first day. Paul shared that he struggled to connect not because the feelings had faded, but because his body no longer responded the way he wished. The feeling of breathlessness, disconnection, and loss of confidence made him think that perhaps aging had arrived too quickly. But the truth was not about age. When Paul visited his doctor, he learned that what he lacked was not youth, but vitamin D, a simple vitamin that plays a critical role in male vitality after the age of 60. Vitamin D, often known as the sunshine vitamin, actually works like a switch for the body's circulatory system. It helps blood vessels relax properly, allowing oxygen-rich blood to flow smoothly throughout the body, especially to areas directly involved in vitality and male hormonal function. When vitamin D is lacking, blood circulation is impaired, which means the organs that rely on blood to function begin to weaken. This reduces the overall responsiveness of the endocrine system. The concern is that after age 60, over 40% of men suffer from serious vitamin D deficiency. According to data from Harvard Medical School, this isn't just due to reduced sun exposure, but also because the skin's ability to synthesize vitamin D naturally declines with age. When vitamin D levels drop, the body also produces less nitric oxide, a key compound that helps expand blood vessels and maintain healthy circulation. This leads to ongoing fatigue, poor concentration, and a loss of emotional and physical connection. The good news is that proper vitamin D supplementation is very simple. A daily walk of just 15 to 20 minutes in the early morning sunlight can help the body naturally generate this essential vitamin. If you live in a place with little sunlight or during colder seasons, focus on eating vitamin D-rich foods such as salmon, tuna, and egg yolks. You can also take vitamin D3 from a trusted source, as D3 is the most absorbable and effective form for older adults. I have met many men like Paul, those who felt they had lost a deep connection with their own bodies, but by simply and consistently supplementing with vitamin D, they regain their sense of vitality, confidence, and wholeness each day. This is not a miracle. It is basic biology. And sometimes, to begin again, all you need is to let the morning sunlight touch your shoulders. 2. Vitamin B12. Robert used to be a firefighter. Now retired at the age of 72, he lives with his wife and often spends time playing with his grandchildren. On the outside, he still appears healthy, but something feels different. I sleep a full 8 hours, eat regularly, don't drink alcohol, but I constantly feel tired, sluggish, and unfocused. He said, I feel like I'm going through the day without actually living in it. Robert's story is not uncommon. In fact, many men over the age of 60 share that their bodies feel like they've shut down, even though they maintain a healthy lifestyle, and one of the most common, yet rarely discussed reasons behind this is a deficiency in vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is the key to turning energy from food into real energy that the body can use. It helps create red blood cells, the oxygen carriers that transport oxygen to the brain, heart, and other vital organs, including those involved in urinary and male hormonal function. When B12 is lacking, red blood cell production decreases, and less oxygen reaches the muscles and brain. The result is reduced stamina, poor memory, trouble concentrating, loss of motivation, and a constant sense of exhaustion. What makes this more concerning is that the body's ability to absorb B12 from food declines significantly with age, even if you eat enough meat, eggs, or drink milk. It doesn't mean your body is actually absorbing the B12. The digestive systems of older adults often lack a certain acid required to separate B12 from food and absorb it properly. The solution lies in taking the active form of B12, specifically methylcobalamin. This is the form of vitamin B12 that the aging body can use right away, without needing further conversion. Many people who switch from the synthetic form, cyanocobalamin, to methylcobalamin report noticeable improvements in energy, clarity, and vitality within just a few weeks. After taking the right form and dosage, Robert not only felt healthier, but also said something I'll never forget: I don't need to feel 30 again. I just want to wake up each day and feel whole. If you've recently felt like your body can't keep up, even without any clear illness, think about vitamin B12, the quiet but powerful source of energy for older adults. 3. Vitamin E. James. Age 70 was once a pilot. It was a job that demanded precision, discipline, and emotional resilience qualities he had carried throughout his life. But one day, he realized he no longer felt excited. Not about retired life or even about being with family. I still eat well and exercise regularly, but something doesn't feel right. I don't feel like myself anymore, he shared thoughtfully. During a full health checkup, all his test results came back normal. Yet James still felt as though his body was weakening from the inside. And in the end, the discovery was surprisingly simple. He was lacking vitamin E, a nutrient often overlooked, but essential for maintaining male endocrine and vitality health after the age of 60. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that helps fight chronic inflammation and vascular aging, two silent forces that impair blood circulation and the function of aging hormones. When cells are damaged by free radicals, they lose their flexibility, which leads to reduced circulation, lower testosterone, prolonged fatigue, emotional disconnect, and weakening of the reproductive glands. More than that, vitamin E helps maintain the elasticity of blood vessel walls, supporting efficient blood flow to organs that play critical roles in male vitality. And what many people don't realize is that vitamin E also contributes to regulating the production of male hormones. It plays a key role in helping stabilize mood, improve sleep, and restore a sense of motivation. Unfortunately, many older adults do not get enough vitamin E from their daily diet, or they rely on low-quality synthetic versions that offer little real benefit. To support proper absorption, it's best to focus on natural sources of vitamin E found in almonds, sunflower seeds, olive oil, spinach, and other dark leafy greens. James began making small changes, adding a handful of nuts at lunch, using olive oil instead of butter in his salads, and taking natural vitamin E supplements for 3 months. When he returned for a follow-up, he smiled broadly and said, "I feel like I've come back to the man I used to be: strong, focused, and fully present in every moment." Vitamin E is not magic, but it is a quiet shield that helps preserve your inner strength as time moves on. Why these 3 vitamins must work together. Walter, age 68, used to be a high school sports coach. After retiring, he kept up an active lifestyle: morning walks, light yoga, and a healthy diet. He had no chronic illnesses, yet he still felt like something was quietly slipping away. "I don't feel tired," he said, "but I don't feel well either. It's like I'm living without really being present." Walter had been taking vitamin D for years. When he began feeling more fatigued, he added vitamin B12 after a conversation with his doctor. He also started taking vitamin E. But the most surprising part was this: it wasn't until he combined all 3 vitamins, consistently and at the right dosage, that his body truly began to feel alive again. Walter's transformation wasn't the result of any single vitamin. It came from the synergy between them, what experts refer to as the vitality triangle effect. Vitamin D helps open up blood vessels by stimulating the production of nitric oxide, which improves circulation throughout the body. But blood needs oxygen to deliver real energy. That's where vitamin B12 plays its role. It helps the body create red blood cells, which transport oxygen to every organ, especially the brain and areas involved in hormonal and male health. However, without vitamin E acting as a shield for the vessel walls, this entire process is vulnerable to damage from free radicals and silent inflammation. At the same time, vitamin E supports endocrine balance, helping maintain healthy hormone levels. These 3 vitamins do not work in isolation. They function like the 3 legs of a steady tripod. Missing even one can weaken the entire system. When used together, they form a supportive chain: smooth blood circulation, oxygen delivered where it's needed, and hormonal function held in balance. Walter shared that after just 6 weeks of consistent use, he didn't just walk more easily, he also slept better, woke up clear-headed, felt more emotionally grounded, and reconnected more naturally with his wife and grandchildren. "It's not that I feel younger," he said, "but I feel like I'm living as the best version of myself." This is exactly what most men over 60 need: a simple yet effective combination to return the body to its natural state: strong, balanced, and full of life. Gerald, age 74, walked into the clinic carrying a plastic bag full of vitamin bottles. He was well informed, had read many books on health, and always aimed to take care of his body through natural methods. "I've tried all of these," he said as he laid the bottles out on the table, "but I still feel tired. My sleep is restless, and I haven't seen any real improvement in my vitality." I looked at what he was taking. Familiar names: vitamin D, B12, E, zinc, ginseng, maca. But there was one major issue. Gerald, like many other men, didn't realize just taking vitamins does not mean your body is actually using them. This is the most common mistake that causes many people to lose time and money without seeing results. They use the right names, but the wrong forms, wrong quality, and wrong timing. For example, most B12 supplements on the market are cyanocobalamin, a cheap synthetic form that older adults have difficulty converting. In contrast, methylcobalamin, though more expensive, is the active form the body can absorb immediately without needing extra conversion. Similarly, with vitamin D, many still take D2 while D3 is the more bioavailable form, especially effective when taken with healthy fats. As for vitamin E, Taking only the synthetic alpha-tocopherol version means the body misses out on the full group of tocopherols and tocotrienols needed to protect blood vessels and hormonal balance. The second major mistake is inconsistency. Many people take their supplements one day, forget the next, or only take them when they remember. But your body needs a steady rhythm. It needs daily support to rebuild from the inside out. Vitamins are not like painkillers. They don't work within hours. They are nutrients, and like anything natural, they require time and patience. When I guided Gerald to switch to active vitamin forms, choose products with clear sourcing and no fillers or artificial flavors, and take them consistently at the same time each day, he returned a month later with a bright expression. "I no longer sleep restlessly," he said. "I wake up clear-headed, starting my mornings with the feeling that I've finally come home to myself." Gerald's story shows us this. You don't need to try harder, you just need to do it smarter, because sometimes a small adjustment in quality and consistency can create a life-changing breakthrough in your health after 60. Thomas, age 66, used to be a carpenter in the state of Ohio after retiring. He moved in with his son and young grandchildren. Although he still enjoyed gardening and walking the kids to school, he admitted that a constant feeling of exhaustion and low energy followed him every day. "I'm not doing heavy labor anymore, but somehow I always feel sluggish and mentally foggy." He shared, "I just want to feel present, really present in this family life." When Thomas began adjusting his routine by including the 3 essential vitamins D, B12, and E, he didn't overhaul his life. He simply rearranged a few small habits each day, and the results surprised his entire family. Thomas's morning started with a warm glass of water and 1-methylcobalamin B12 tablet, the form better absorbed by people over 60. Then, he had breakfast with his family, eating eggs, whole grain toast, and a bit of yogurt to provide extra protein and support energy metabolism. After eating, Thomas would take a 15 to 20-minute walk around the garden, not to exercise intensely, but to gently absorb the early sunlight and allow his body to naturally synthesize vitamin D on cloudy or cold days. He would take a high-quality vitamin D3 capsule after breakfast to ensure his body wasn't falling behind. At lunch, Thomas would prepare a green salad topped with extra virgin olive oil and a handful of unsalted roasted sunflower seeds, a natural source of vitamin E that supports circulation and stabilizes hormones. He didn't follow any strict diet. He simply prioritized the foods that helped his body recover. There were no big changes, no complicated routines, but it was this consistency and simplicity that made all the difference. After 5 weeks, Thomas no longer felt heavy upon waking. He slept better at night and felt mentally brighter, with his energy coming back to life. He shared that for the first time in years, he could play soccer with his grandkids without needing to sit down and catch his breath. "I don't feel younger," he said, "but I feel more alive, stronger, and more connected to my family than ever before." That's what we always hope you will feel too. You don't need to do more, you just need to do it regularly, the right way, and at the right time. Health in later life isn't a matter of luck. It comes from the small, consistent choices you make every day. If there's one thing I've learned after more than 30 years of listening to men like you, it's this. The body never truly gives up. It's simply waiting for you to come back and care for it in the right way. And sometimes, just one small thing, a little morning sunlight, the right vitamin, or a handful of seeds at lunch is enough to reopen the door to vitality you once thought had closed forever. We've talked about vitamin D, the guide for healthy blood flow, vitamin B12, the energy source that fuels your muscles and brain, and vitamin E, the stabilizer of hormones and protector of the male endocrine system. Each one is not just a nutrient. It's a reminder that you still have a chance. You still have time. and you still have value. The good news is that you don't need to start over. You just need to start from where you are right now. One small habit each day, repeated with trust and intention, can bring lasting change not only in your body, but in your mindset. Emotions and relationships. If this message has helped you see the road ahead more clearly, subscribe to our channel so we can continue to support you with more tips on nutrition, movement, and herbal care tailored for men's health after 60. How are you currently taking your vitamins? What changes have you noticed in your body lately? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your story might be the very encouragement another man needs, the one who's just waiting for the right reminder to begin again. Believe me, it's not too late. You're starting at exactly the right time.